welcome back to Rugby Rodeo with me, Jess Breach, and my fellow Red Rose, Ellie. See?
Really?
Yeah,
you forgot my name?
That's why I was under pressure.
So well done.
I was under pressure. Well, and you can tell that I'm nervous because we've got a guest in today.
You're also blushing.
Yeah. And we've got a guest that's also not our friend, as in we don't know her very well. And yeah, so I'm nervous, which doesn't happen very often. And now Ellie's going to obviously take the piss at me. But anyway, we are joined by Team GB gymnast Alice Kinsella. Woo!
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. She has come all the way down from Birmingham, 2 hours on the train, so it's a lot farther than me and Elle have to travel. So we are actually honoured to have you on the podcast.
Absolutely.
Aren't we?
Absolutely.
Well, some of Alice's career highlights before we get into it, because obviously maybe some of our listeners might not know actually how amazing you are. So please don't be embarrassed, because when we
it's a hell of a list.
It's a hell of a list. So get ready. So
if you see us reading as well, it's because it's much longer of a list than what we've done before as well.
Or Ellie hasn't revised anything. So
no, actually, I wrote it down. Actually,
really?
Thank you.
Okay.
So first of all, you got bronze at Tokyo Olympic Games, and you were also the captain of that games as well, which was the first Team GB medal since 1928, which is crazy. When I was reading it, I was like, bloody hell, as if we've not won anything since 1928.
Yeah, a team medal.
Yeah.
Yes, it is crazy. I think it's mental, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Do you not? What is that fact? We've just given you that fact now?
No, I knew it before, but
fine.
when we medalled, I didn't know that.
Really? Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah. You have won silver at the World Championships.
Yeah.
Gold medal at the European Championships.
It's not yet.
Yeah, that is
me.
correct. That is correct.
Me.
You've done your research right. And you were also the first female gymnast to win a team medal at the Olympics, World, European and Commonwealth Games.
It's not a bad CV.
That's very good. And at the age of 24.
Yeah, it's not a bad CV at all.
Yeah, I'll take it.
You've achieved, so much more than me and Elle, so it's a bit embarrassing. And we have the podcast, so.
Obviously, you're a gymnast, but what is it, obviously for our listeners, but also for us as well, what is it specifically that you do in gymnastics? Because I don't know much about gymnastics anyway, but I'm sure there's a lot of young boys and girls out there that probably don't know anything either. So what is it that you actually do? So
I do artistic gymnastics. So that is the vault, bars, beam and floor. Some people specialise in just one apparatus, but I'm more of like an all-arounder, so that's like all of them. But I'd say my favourite piece... I don't really have a favourite now because it just depends on the day and how I feel, but normally it would either be beam or bars.
Is that because you're best at it? Or is that
beam is probably because I would say it is my best. I've probably won more medals on that piece than any of us. So.
And what's it like? We might actually be going into this later in the podcast because I've not read the whole brief, but
classic.
But like, which one do you enjoy the most? Like training for as well, because for us, we like attacking, not so much defence.
Sorry, I thought you were going to say tackling. Do you know much about rugby?
I've looked into it a little bit, but not too much.
Okay, so me and Elle are like edge players. So we are classed as the speedy ones.
Oh, okay.
We have a bit of footwork, a bit of agility.
We're the ones that score the pretty tries, not the ones that are like battering each other.
Yeah. So we don't really like the defence / the contact. So Red Rum, you can have that one for you. We have a hater on TikTok that really loves us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we're good at it, but we don't enjoy that aspect of training because there's some really strong girls in the team that will just run straight at you.
Okay.
That are much bigger and stronger than both me and Jess are. So that's why we don't like doing the defence side of training. But for you, what is the thing that in training you most enjoy doing and least enjoy doing?
I'd say least is obviously building up to competitions because you've got to do the same thing over and over again to be ready. But also another thing would be trying to get your fitness back. So when you've done a competition, you'll obviously have quite a bit of time off, and then you've got to try.
What does that time off look like? As in, like how many weeks?
1 to 2.
Okay.
And with gymnastics, it's just so hard to get your fitness back to where it was.
Even in that space?
Yeah.
Wow. I think that's crazy.
For me personally, I don't know if that's just me being like really unfit, but that I'd say those two are my least favourite. But my favourite would be the week building up to competition. I do kind of like, because I like the nerves. It kind of helps. But just learning new things as well. I like doing as well.
Do you like the dance aspect of like floor, or even like all of it? Because obviously all of it has a bit of dance to it.
I do and I don't. Depends what dance we're doing.
Okay.
Do you have any say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do it to music?
Yeah, we do it to music, but
And
my
you get
coach,
to choose that.
my
Sorry.
coach actually picks that for me.
No,
Come on,
there's
please.
people at home that might not know. There's
Okay,
people at home
right,
that might
fine.
not know. I'm painting pictures. Sorry.
So your coach pitched.
So my coach picks it for me, which I'd rather,
Okay.
because it's just quite hard to try and find the right music. So
Yeah.
I just let him deal with that. He sends me what he finds and like asks me if I do like it, do not. But then we've got a GB choreographer that does my floor routine.
Cool.
And then she also does like dance warm-ups and stuff as well, which are pretty fun. But sometimes I'm not the best of dancers, so it's hard to try and do all the dance skills. So
I actually did gymnastics when I was younger.
Did you?
Yeah, and I hated the dance bit of it. Like, I can't dance at all. Like, we all know that, really.
Yeah, I was going
Everyone
to say, didn't have to
listening,
tell you that.
And I hated that part of it.
it's not my least, but it's not my favourite.
Yeah, like, oh God, I hated it. I only did floor and vault.
Yeah.
I was rubbish at beam and bars.
I've never done the gymnastics. I think the most I've done is teddy bear rolls in like year one. And that was it for me. I thought, yeah, it's not for me. I can't touch my toes. So gymnastics is not the route I'm going down.
I watched one of your reels on your Instagram, and it was the one where you were on the bars and then you flung.
Oh.
Yeah. Does that hurt? Like, obviously we're rugby players. People think that we're like super tough. But surely.
You should see us when you get stood on.
Yeah, or like your nail,
massive whip,
yeah, your nail
breaks.
breaks.
Someone scratches you or pokes you in the eye. You're like, I can't do it.
Sometimes I can be like that.
Okay.
Depends how I'm feeling
That
on
one
the
just
day.
doesn't go on Instagram.
If I'm tired, I'll try and wait out a little bit. But no, that one did hurt. But I'd say it was more of a shock than anything. Like, I didn't know it was coming, and my hand just slipped. And yeah, it was.
And did you get back up and just go again, or was that it for the training session done?
I tried a bit more bars, but then we thought just end it there.
Really?
We'll come back later and try again.
So for the people at home
Yeah,
who
we'll put
might
it-
not
we'll put it
see,
on our-
we'll put it on,
our
of
Instagram,
course,
yeah.
but give us a quick rundown of describing the video if people don't actually watch it. Because now they might do it as very clickbait, but they might now watch
Yeah.
it.
So there's 2 bars, one high, one low. I did a release and catch. So you let go of the bar, flip, catch it again. And then I went to go from the high bar to the low bar. So I did like a back somersault in between the bars. And as I went to grab the bar, my hand slipped. And then I caught the bar on like my armpit, chest kind of area, and just flung to my back.
Did you have bruises?
No, not really.
Oh.
Just a little scratch. So I couldn't even really prove that. It was bad.
It did really hurt. It did really hurt. But
I
you don't have
promise.
a scratch, so
Promise.
it did.
Watch the video and you'll see that it did really hurt. When I watched it, I honestly I went. I think I'd be so scared.
Yeah,
I think it was more because Tokyo I hurt myself, and then that was also on the first day of Paris, and I was like, oh, it was more annoying, but it turned out I was fine.
Oh, so that was prep for.
Yeah, so that was the first day we got out to Paris,
Wow.
and Tokyo was the first day as well when I hurt
Really?
myself.
Did that create some form of nerves because you've been there before, or was it like I've been here before, I have hurt myself before on the first day, I am going to be okay?
It did bring a little bit of nerves just because, and my coach saw it as well. He kind of saw that I was a bit like worked up and my breathing was a bit off, and he pulled me over and was like, "Are you nervous, like, because of what happened in Tokyo?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am," but I could kind of tell that it wasn't anything bad. It was just a bit of wind, and it was fine.
Yeah, right.
I did it again in the second session. So.
Oh, as in you fell again, or
No,
you did?
no, I did
you
the
did it
skill.
right.
Oh,
Right,
fine.
okay, fine. And I was like, oh my goodness, again.
I'd go home if I
Yeah.
Not for me.
Is that breathing something you have to work? Like we do a lot. Well, we had a breathing specialist come in last pre-season, I think it was, and we did a lot around breathing, like inhaling, exhaling, like CO2 dumping, and then when we get into a huddle in rugby, so even if there's a break in place, like an injury, or the opposition has scored, we get into a huddle, or if we've scored, we get into a huddle, and we take 2 breaths in through our nose and obviously out. So we really try and regulate that. Is that something that you guys, could you just mention it? Is that something that you guys do as well?
I did it quite a lot, especially growing up, because I used to get quite nervous in competitions, like to the point where I'd feel sick and not being able to like have a good comp. But also in sport, when you get like mental blocks, you don't go for things, it also helps with that. But yeah, I had a psych, which I used to work with quite a lot to try and help with my breathing. And for me personally, it did really help going into competitions and again with mental blocks. So
is because Simone Biles has spoken about mental blocks, hasn't she? Have you gone through something similar, or like, because I don't know the scale of them. I don't know if you can have like a smaller one. Obviously hers was quite drastic. Is it a scale, or is it just
you get like big ones, you get small ones. Sometimes it takes about a couple of days to get over. So I've had one where it's taken me the start of the year to try and get over it. So a good like 3-4 months.
Wow.
And you think the breathing and the psych work has definitely helped getting past that?
Sometimes that big one, it didn't help at the start. So we talked again, spoke about something else. And yeah, if it doesn't work, we just keep trying, see what does work. What
was the one takeaway, if you don't mind sharing, the one thing that was like, this is something that's really helpful? Because I'm sure we get mental blocks maybe in different ways, whether it's dropping a high ball or a certain lift in the gym you don't like doing, whatever. And I'm sure there's a lot of listeners at home, they always talk about confidence and getting over, whether it's injury or, you know, looking slightly different to other people on the pitch. What's something that you could say is one bit of advice that you've learned through working with a psych to share, not just with us, because I'm sure it's something that we can learn about, but everyone at home who might be able to find some similarities with it?
My main one would be open about it, talk about it, because at the start of that, it was when this was all happening when I was on the pill. I don't like talking about things because I don't like making it a big thing. So I try and just keep it in, but that was probably the worst thing to do. So I spoke about it, and that didn't help the whole situation, but helped a little bit. We moved forward, and again, if you have a mental block, it's okay. It's a part of sport. It happens, and just go back to the basics. That's what I did. Speak to your coach. With my sport, I can get supported because the skill I had the mental block on was on bars, and it was actually the release and catch in that video.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the first skill. And he could just, when I had the mental block, he could just chuck me over the bar and it would actually help me feel that movement again. So
you just mentioned the pill, and that's something that we were going to get onto, so we can move on to it now. I've been on the pill, so but you went on it for a different reason. You went on for your acne and your struggle with that. And a lot of people don't know that that's like a treatment as such, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a controlled thing to go on the pill, a contraceptive pill that can then control the acne. And you just said that your psych helped with that because of the pill made you feel certain things, like a bit of anxiety, a bit of depression. Like, would you mind going into that bit? Because I think that is something that I think a lot of professional athletes struggle with, and you know, a lot of our listeners, that life is hard, and even externally, like, we're not happy with, you know, some things we have. You know, Ellie doesn't like her nose and I don't like my ears. Sorry, that was really random. No.
Do you not have a nose?
And so you obviously trying to find a way, but then actually it probably didn't help you really as much as you wanted it to.
Yeah, so I struggled with really bad acne at the end of 2022.
So very recent.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Commonwealth, Europeans, it was fine. Had a few like spots there and
like
then,
hormonal spots. Like, yeah, we all get, yeah.
But then coming to Worlds 2022, it just came out of nowhere.
Wow.
And it got to the point where I didn't want to leave the house. Wouldn't leave the house without makeup on. Didn't really want to see friends or family. I would get out of bed, put makeup on straight away so no one would see it. And then I would literally wait until, because obviously I have my fiance.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I didn't even want him to see it. So I waited until the lights were out, go and take my makeup off and then go to bed.
How long have you been with your fiance for?
It'll be 7 years in August.
Wow, so you'd been together for
Yeah, we were together for a while and I still, not because of, I knew he wouldn't say anything about it, but it's more me.
Yeah, and that's something you could control about the situation.
And then, again, I was quiet. Didn't say anything about it, that I was struggling really, really bad with it. So I went on the pill. It helped a lot with the skin.
Okay.
But they did say you will have side effects. But when they told me, I was like, they won't be that bad, like I'll be able to deal with them. But it was really bad. Like my anxiety was terrible.
Wow.
Not only in the gym, but outside the gym. And then depression started to come along where I wouldn't go to the gym to train or anything like that. I didn't want to do the sport I loved anymore, hated it.
Could you, at the time when that was happening, is it something that you could understand and you could link it back to the medication, or was there also confusion in, well, I'm just not feeling myself, I don't really know what it is?
At first I thought it was just me. I thought, because that was when I started getting the mental blocks, and I've had it before, so I just thought it was something to do with that. But then I got home, I'd cry a lot more. I'd make like the one simplest mistake in the gym, like I'd do like a little wobble on beam and cry straight away. I was like, this is not me. My coach was even like, what on earth is going on with you? And I was like, I don't know.
Did they know that you were on the pill?
Not at that point, because I didn't speak about it.
And were you with your psych at this point, or had you not really spoken to
I
a psych?
was.
Okay.
But it also took me a while to speak to her about it all. And then my fiance noticed something was really off with me, so he spoke to my mom.
Oh, bless him.
And then my mom came over and was like, Alice, we need to talk. So we spoke about it all. I got it off my chest, which was the best thing I could have done.
Did you feel so much lighter?
Yeah, because then I had someone to talk to. I could go over everything with someone. And then, it started to get a little bit easier. So I had to come off the pill. I did know my skin was going to go back to normal, but I'd rather that than everything else that was going on. But yeah, my skin to this day still isn't great.
Well,
but
I think you're stunning. So
thank you very much.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to notice or tell. My boyfriend's sister went through something similar, and I think it's just awful to be close to someone that's going through that. So I can imagine what I can't imagine what your boyfriend was feeling, because he probably wanted to help you and felt helpless. And obviously you felt, and don't want to put words in your mouth, but like that kind of disgusting, like you didn't know what was going on either. And that's the same with my boyfriend's sister. She didn't want to leave. She would, wear loads of makeup, and she felt rubbish. And again, she went on the pill, but then she felt different within herself. And it's a really hard medium, I think, to get right, isn't it? Or it's what you think that you can manage. And because you're in a very high level sport, you having that anxiety and that depression doesn't come hand in hand. So it's really hard to deal with that.
I think I struggled more because obviously gym, it's on the TV, people watch it. And in 2022 Worlds, whenever the camera was on me, I tried to go away from it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it just made me feel really, really bad. But it got to the point where me and my fiance would argue a bit more than normal.
Okay.
Well, we don't really argue anyway, but when we argued, I knew something was off.
How did you get out of like such a negative cycle? So obviously you chose to stop taking the pill, and then did everything just go back to normal, or?
I'd say about 6 months I started to feel myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it still took a while for everything, all the hormones and everything to come out of your system.
Yeah, because I had Europeans, I can't remember what month, but I even went there, some skills I couldn't go for. Before I did skills, I was like, I don't actually know what's going to happen when I do this.
Wow.
Like it could end bad. It could end okay. But yeah, that thought just scared me. Like since growing up, my anxiety has been a lot worse in the gym.
Okay.
And I have noticed that it is a dangerous sport that we do we
Yeah.
do.
We say it's a toxic relationship,
Yeah.
ours.
Yeah,
You just keep
can't
get
it
injured,
wrong.
you keep going back. It's like, well, what are you meant to do?
And I think because that was in my head, I was a bit like, well, why am I doing it then? If I'm
Yeah.
so scared of it, and but
And were those thoughts like of, I guess, retiring or quitting, were they like really real? Had you
I was really close.
Really?
Yeah, but then because my mum came over and we managed to talk about it, then my mum spoke to my coach and it just all helped, really.
Wow. So your boyfriend kind of saved your career by
Yeah,
talking
he
to
did.
him. Wow.
He did.
What a hero.
I
What a
know.
hero.
Haven't told him
hero.
that.
No, he'll hear it now.
Well, hear it now, yeah.
Do you also think it helped? Obviously, your family is all sport orientated. Your dad was a pro footballer for West Brom, Aston Villa, Charlton, and earned 48 caps for Ireland as well. And your brother's also a football player. So, do you think having a family involved in sport also helped that? The fight to keep on going and having people around you that probably understood what it feels like to almost fall out of love, but having to, get back on the horse and carry on.
Yeah, it definitely helps. I think even though the sports are quite a lot different, we do argue about that, me and my brother, by the way.
What do you argue about?
He always thinks football's harder than gymnastics.
Really?
No,
What's his
not.
what are his pros? Like, what does he think's harder about football?
Everything.
Oh, really? Just goes everything?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you reckon you'd be able to do?
Yeah, you should do that.
You should be able to do gymnastics because they dive about so much. So
very
you should be all right at it.
They should do that. There's that trend on like TikTok where you'll get your partner to do skills. You should bring your brother and be like, right, we'll do a handstand on the beam, do a flip, and he'll be like, well, I can't. Be like, exactly, it's harder than yours. I could kick a ball and score a goal. So it's easier.
No, yeah, he's always like, football's way harder than gymnastics. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, you can't even do a cartwheel.
And you can kick a ball, so
Yeah, exactly.
Can you kick a ball? Can you kick a ball?
I'm okay.
Because Jess, you can say you can kick a
I
ball.
can
It's
kick
not
a
very
ball.
good.
Yeah, but
I
I
don't
can
think
kick
you
a
play
ball.
football for anyone.
I can kick a ball. Did you ever think about football, or like, because obviously a very heavy dominant sport within the family? Is that anything that you thought about, or was it
No.
always gym?
Just gym. Yeah, straight from 3 years old.
Really?
So
Three?
how did you know to even get into that? Like, why did you get into gymnastics? Because it's not something that I never was like 3 years old. I'm going to play rugby, but I now play rugby. So what was it?
You
like?
probably didn't know what the day of the week it was. You still don't. So
Exactly. I don't even know what day it is today.
no, exactly. Go on.
Wednesday.
No,
Thursday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It was more my mom, because I was like quite energetic when I was younger, and I just loved doing like flips and stuff around the garden and stuff. So and also my sister did it as well. So I think
older.
that,
Is she older?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's older. So I think I just wanted to be like her as well. So
You're better than her now.
she doesn't do it anymore.
Does she not?
She
Were you better than her?
Yeah.
She
she only went for the social life.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think there's more pressure within being an individual sport than obviously a team? Because we can be dependent on other people, but you are just solely you.
More pressure. I would say I put more pressure on myself when it comes to team.
Oh, okay.
Why?
Because other people are dependent on your score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because especially if it gets to the last piece, like say with Tokyo, when we finished on bars and I didn't have a good bar rotation in qualification, and we kind of needed to hit our bar routines to get the bronze. So yeah, that's more nerve-wracking to me than doing it individually, because I just let myself down
Yeah.
individually, whereas if I do it in a team, I let everyone else down.
Yeah.
So obviously you won bronze at Tokyo and then narrowly missed out in Paris. How did that feel? Like talk us through it if it doesn't get you so we lost in the World Cup final, and some people still can't really talk about it. They get quite emotional. Some people can't even watch the game back because they just don't like how it is. Like we lost again very narrowly in a call, whatever, and I think it probably is quite similar in that aspect. So how did you deal with it, or like what were the differences do you feel within it?
We were all feeling good and bad.
Okay.
Bad, obviously, because we just missed out. Good because everyone doubted us.
Okay.
Because everyone was like, it's not our best team. And
How did that make you guys feel going in? With
And
that?
why did people? Sorry, 2 questions there. And why did people think that it wasn't the best team?
Because a couple of people got injured. Some of our best got injured. It kind of made us feel a bit, I wouldn't say too down, but it kind of helped us. It motivated us,
Spurred
basically.
you on.
Underdogs.
Yeah.
Underdogs, yeah.
Because we qualified in 7th, I'd like to say.
Mm.
And everyone was like, oh, they're not going to do much
For
better.
for the final.
For the final.
Yeah, fine.
They're not going to do much better. Like, they're not the best team we've had. And we said to even come 4th and just missing out, we should be really proud of ourselves because we really didn't expect that to happen at all. So it took us a few days to bring that into our heads. But after we looked up at the screen and it was 4th, we were a bit like devastated.
What was the last piece that you did on that day?
Beam, and I was last up on beam.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so very nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I said to my coach the day before, I was like, watch it be. We finish on beam and I'm going to have to do the best beam routine of my life.
And did you?
I think I did.
Nice.
It could have been better, but...
Do you agree with the scores? Because obviously we have the ref that makes the decision in the middle.
If you score, right?
Yeah, but sorry, I meant as in decisions. So like that's the only thing that we can maybe disagree with.
Sometimes I agree, sometimes I disagree.
And can you do anything about that, or
you can put an appeal in?
Okay.
Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it stays the same, sometimes it can go down.
Oh wow, really? Just like your exams, if you want a remark with your exams, it could actually go down and you could then get a D or something, and you thought, no, I definitely was going to get a B.
Well, I think someone was 3rd. They put an appeal in for it to go higher, it went down and she got knocked out 3rd.
Wow, imagine.
God, if you were gutted feeling the way that you felt after, how gutted must they be feeling? I should just kept my stupid mouth shut.
I'd retire then.
Just be grateful.
I don't know if she wanted to do it or her coach wanted to do it.
Do coaches have a lot of say in, obviously, decisions that are made?
Yeah, I kind of let my coach just...
You got to trust
deal with
them.
It. Yeah. I trust my coach.
We speak about
like
our
that.
coach at England and how that's completely changed the culture and the way that, maybe we play, but also how connected we feel as a group. And from what you're saying, it's so important to have someone who's there that's right for you. Have you ever had people that haven't been right for you?
I wouldn't say so. No, I've had a couple of coaches. I started at one gym club, then I moved to the one I'm at now. But the coaches I have now are definitely the best I've had.
Your people.
Yeah, definitely my people. I wouldn't even call them coaches. I'd call them friends, really. Yeah.
That's so nice. That's really nice.
Yeah. I feel like that's the relationship you kind of need to have.
Yeah.
And like in the gym, if I'm like annoyed or anything, my coach will leave me to it, not even try and talk to me, which I like.
Do you think they become a little bit almost like your psych, who's not the official psych as well?
Yeah, so I can like tell my coach anything really.
Yeah.
That's really literally anything, which is good, I think.
I think that's probably one of the things, obviously being an individual athlete within a team sport, that we don't always get that one-on-one time with coaches because there's a lot more girls in the team, and you do have special relationships with coaches, but you might only get a 15-minute window that whole week to have a sit down and a coffee with them. So sometimes they know how you're feeling, sometimes they'll have no idea and they won't even see it. But it's really special that you guys actually have that, and like I said, the importance on making sure that you do have that openness with your coach, because like everything that you've been saying, something that you've learned is to be open and honest with how you're feeling, but having that person that you trust alongside you is just as important as well.
No, definitely.
We also have it that, I guess you are as well, but with our coach at club and even at country, there's other people competing for your shirt. So like having that conversation or having that relationship, sometimes people can see as like, oh, well, like smoozing the coach, do you know what I mean? To get you selected into the team. Do you have any of that, or is it, I guess when it comes to GB, is there anything like that? Or have you ever felt that people have been like, oh, you're only in it because of this, or you're, do you know what I mean?
I think with every sport you kind of get that, really. When I was growing up, going from when I was young senior, so like 16, there was a few people that were trying to speak to the national coach to try and get their gymnast in, I think. But it hasn't happened recently, really.
How does that make you feel when you can see that? Because when you can see it, you're just like, oh, I know why you're doing it. It's so annoying.
Because I was younger, I wasn't really phased, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it kind of like, there were seniors that were a lot better than me because I was younger. I was literally just junior turning to senior.
Right.
So I was like, I'm not even going to make it anyway, so it's fine.
You've not long announced your pregnancy. So congratulations. We have already said that when we met, not recording. So this isn't the first time that we're mentioning it. How do you view life as like an athlete with a child? Do you have aspirations to continue being a gymnast? Like obviously LA 2028. Like are they all things that are in your mind? Like what is it?
Definitely. I'm definitely going back.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's what we like to see.
I'm not retiring. My main focus is LA. If I don't make anything before that, that's fine.
Okay.
But I feel like now is the right time because I've always wanted to start a family young. Me and my fiance have always wanted to do that. And we thought that and I've wanted to be a mom, still competing with a little baby.
Yeah.
We thought now is the right time because not much really goes on in the year after the Olympics. Like there's still Europeans, Worlds, but it's more like individual.
Yeah.
And then I just think that gives me enough time to get back for LA. So.
And is it, do you still train? Like we've had a couple of girls that have had babies and come back to play international and club rugby, and they trained throughout the whole pregnancy. And then obviously they got back into training after.
Yeah, sure you can't be doing flips and
stuff. Well, obviously not. I mean, is it more as in like cardio or
they
like...
come out of the womb being it. That's probably why they can do it at 3 years old because they did it in the womb.
I'm not training.
Okay.
So not doing any flips or anything like that. I'm still keeping up with my S&C.
Okay.
I still go to the gym to do some conditioning, stretching, stuff like that, just to keep myself fit. Still, really, but nothing serious.
And is it full time? So are you getting support through your national governing body throughout this? Like, do you have maternity leave?
Yeah. So okay. I've already had people from British Gymnastics speak to me about when I return.
Okay, cool.
And stuff like that. So
that's really cool. That's really good. It's so good that we've worked really hard on our maternity policy at the Red Roses within the RFU to make it the best one that suits us, and it's also ever changing because there hasn't been many girls that have had babies and then come back to play, and everyone is very individual, and that's what they've said, that everyone's very different, so it needs to cater for all, and it's really cute because they can bring in their little babies into training sometimes, and I think it boosts the environment. Like everyone,
we love it. We all become like aunties.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll get the same. I'm sure everyone will go, no, I'll hold him. I'll hold him. I don't mind. You keep doing your flips.
Well, my coach was like, you're lucky that I've got boys because I know exactly what to do with boys.
Perfect.
So I'll deal with them when you train. So that's fine.
Very cool. So we're going to go on to the next bit, which is like listeners' questions, but we're just going to ask you questions.
Okay.
And it's not listeners, we're the people that are asking it.
Do we have to do the jingle?
Oh, I don't know. Normally we do a jingle. It's a little bit awkward now when people are in the room. Okay. You can join in if you want.
What's the jingle?
Oh, okay.
Oh, you can join in, yeah.
So basically, Ellie will go listeners, and then I'll say questions.
You guys can say questions together.
But
should we do it very quickly, just so you can practice after. Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners. Questions. It gets quicker. That's why I said let's practice. I thought we were going to get that first time.
Yeah, same. I was like, oh.
It's taken Jess the past 5 months to get it.
She has the easier job.
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah.
I set the tone.
Yeah.
So it gets quicker and then we just go, listeners, questions.
Okay, I'll try.
Yeah.
Okay. Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners.
Questions.
Listeners. Questions.
Yeah.
Well done.
That was good.
Got the first bit.
Yeah.
You could just mouth it, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay, first question. Have you ever played rugby? And if you were to play rugby, what position would you play? If you need help with positions, we can, of course, give you
I might need help with positions.
Okay, are you fast?
Not slow. I'm not
Okay.
very fast.
Did you, this is going to sound weird, did you used to play like rough and tumble with your brothers and sisters? Like, did you like fighting them? Or were you like just standing offish?
I was the more standoffish. I think more with my brother I'd fight.
Okay.
Do you argue a lot? Like, are you
good
quite a
question.
good arguer?
No, I don't argue.
Okay, so not a
Not
nine.
nine.
Not a nine.
Are you good at delegating, telling people what to do?
I think so, yeah.
Could play fly half.
Could play fly half. I think maybe like a wing
Fly half.
/ fly half. That's what we would put you as.
Okay.
Don't
No,
get that
wait,
in,
no,
but-
actually, can you kick a rugby ball? A football. You said that you could.
Not very well, but I can kick it.
Okay, fine.
So like me, so
Wing.
wing.
Yeah, wing. Yeah, if I the wing, you score lots of tries.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Okay.
Where do you keep all your like medals?
Anywhere.
You don't have like a medal like where's your bronze medal from the Olympics?
In the box.
What, like under your bed or something?
Do you ever
Well,
get it
don't
out?
actually
On
don't.
a cabinet, but
Oh,
fine.
okay.
Do you ever get it out and just like, I did that.
I bet you would do that.
I did that. That's me.
That was all me, that.
I do sometimes, and I'm like, I really did that, to be honest.
That's very cool.
But no, I don't really look at it, to be honest.
I don't look at my commies bronze medal.
Do you not?
No. I wouldn't even know where it is. My mum's probably going to text me after this comes out and goes, it's in this box in the loft. Do you want it?
Yeah, I think mine are all in the loft.
Yeah.
There's collect dust, don't they? Let's be honest. They're really cool, but when they're out, they just do collect a bit of dust. If you could play any other sport professionally, what would you do?
I do get asked this quite a lot, and I never know the answer.
You can just say gymnastics, or you could say like a different style of gymnastics because there's like tumbling, isn't there?
Yeah,
And then there's actual team gymnastics,
Yeah.
isn't there?
there's rhythmic,
Yeah.
which, no, I can't do that. I'm not flexible enough for that.
What about
cheerleading?
trampoline?
No,
No.
trampoline scares me.
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry, but you do flips left, right, and centre, but you can't. A trampoline scares you.
The trampoline they use is horrifying. Have you ever been on one?
I have.
Yeah, I have
I
at
have.
school, I think.
They're
Like a
really
proper
bouncy.
trampoline.
Well, I don't know if it's proper one. It's like
Yeah,
the
probably
square
not.
ones with the holes in.
Yeah, but they have like a different.
Oh, maybe I don't know.
I've not been. I don't know
Bounce.
if I've been on. No, the one that I have been on is.
But you've been to, like,
a
Wee
kid-
Hop or
no,
whatever it's called.
It was a kids' gymnastics factory. We go there with
that-
training.
yeah, training, yeah.
And about well, I'm like, oh my god.
Like they're really like soft,
Oh
and
really?
you go really high. No,
Don't like
for me.
heights? Is that what we're
No, I
gathering?
don't like
heights. Okay. Wow. But flip around, not knowing where you are. Okay.
sometimes I close my eyes.
Really?
Mostly I close my eyes. Yeah, I can't see where I am anyway when I'm looking.
Yeah, true.
And then when do you open them?
It's all
As
a
soon
bit
as you,
of a blur.
as soon as your feet go down, you just open and hopefully you're on the beam. Fingers crossed I'm on the beam.
To be fair, I do that when I tackle. I close my eyes.
That's probably why you missed them.
Yeah, it is. To be fair, that makes sense. That does make sense.
Red Rum's going to have an absolute field day with this podcast.
At least he's listening. Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe and send us a screenshot.
What is a team gymnastic changing room like pre-event? Like, what are you all like? Like very in your corner? Are you
Like
collective?
bouncing music.
Practicing?
We don't actually have a changing room.
Oh,
So where do you get changed?
Do you come in
Toilet.
Toilet.
Toilet?
Really? Would you like a changing room?
Hang on. So you have to get changed in the toilet when you're about to go and compete for the Olympics?
Put your long sleeve Leo on, yeah.
Would you like a changing room?
We'll sort it
Well,
out.
yeah,
for
we'll
you.
get someone.
We'll get it.
We'll get someone
sorted for
sorted. Don't worry about it, darling.
you. Darling.
Darling.
I mean, I'm not too bothered to be honest. I think because we've just done it.
It's what you know.
Yeah, it's what we know.
Wow.
But yeah, we warm up in a short sleeve, go to the toilet, shove on a long sleeve, get ready.
Do you have a favourite leotard? Sorry, this isn't one of the questions, but do you have a favourite leotard?
Probably one I was meant to wear at this British Champs, but obviously I was pregnant, so I couldn't wear it.
What does it
Do you
look
ever just
like?
put it on for the shits and gigs?
I don't think I'd be able
Oh,
to.
yeah, to be
I'm
fair.
sure it would fit, probably.
Yeah, good point.
What does it look like?
To hear.
Yeah.
It's red.
Oh.
Red's not my favourite colour, but favourite colour for a leotard on me.
I did when I went back in the
Back
day
in the
when
day.
I
Here
did
we
it, did gymnastics. I won
Here we go again.
competition, And but my mum said before the competition, she had, because I used to love leotards. I'd love leotards.
Sorry, how old were you? About 5?
No, I was about 12, thanks. And I used to love them. And I said to my mum, I was like, please, can I have a new one? She said, if you win, I'll buy you a leotard. Bam, what did I go and do? Win. So I got a new leotard.
You still got it?
Yeah.
I did that at 2023. So my fiance was like, we'll make a bet. If you win, you'll get a dog. I'll buy you a dog. And I won.
So you've
What
got
dog
a
do you have?
He hasn't given me a dog.
Oh, what? I'd be
He's giving you a kid
fuming.
instead, though.
What's
to be
his
fair.
name?
His
Yeah.
actual answer. That was his answer.
That was
yeah.
his answer. I'll give you a kid
I'll give
instead.
you a kid instead.
What dog would you like?
Boxer.
They're nuts. I don't
know.
have one, but they're nuts.
But I love that.
Sydney Gregson has
Yeah, I know.
boxer. He is cute.
But yeah,
Oh.
I still don't have the dog.
Wait till you have a baby first, and then you can have the dog.
Yeah. But maybe this is the right time to have a puppy and a baby. Then you'd be going through the same stage at the same time.
Yeah.
Sounds like chaos.
But I think it's because we live in a flat.
Oh, fair.
Okay.
But you shouldn't have made. He shouldn't have
live
made
in- we live in
the.
flats.
Not
And we
fair.
have
We don't have
dogs.
boxers though, so
And he shouldn't have
They're
made
so
that bet. To
crazy.
be honest.
No, he shouldn't have made that bet. You can't keep a bet and then not.
Before my
free.
last piece, I was like, I need to do well because I'm going to win a dog. It's the only reason I went clean.
Dog.
whatever motivates you. I
Yeah.
guess.
Mine's
Okay.
a Chanel handbag arch, if you're listening.
What's one thing about the Olympic experience that no one else talks about?
Tokyo, I'd say, was probably one of the worst
Mm.
because I felt very alone because of COVID,
Yeah.
injury.
Yeah.
My coach wasn't out there. Friends, family couldn't go out there. And I just felt quite alone.
Mm.
And there wasn't really anyone to talk to. I obviously had my teammates, but there's just something that you'd like to talk to other people
Yeah.
instead. And obviously time difference,
Yeah.
couldn't chat to them there and then. But no, I think that was the one that I don't really speak about.
Mm.
Paris was a lot different, but yeah, how alone you feel sometimes.
It is hard. I think it's really hard. I think even in our in rugby, when you're in camp and then come out of camp, I feel really alone because you've gone from being every day with like 30 other people and like on a time schedule, so I know where I have to be, I know what I've got to wear, what I've got to do.
Yeah.
And you go home, I sit there.
Yeah.
Sorry, it sounds so sad.
No, I get it.
On your
I get it.
own,
It's a
obviously-
come down.
Yeah, I have the dog, but like can't talk back. He can't talk back to me, and I just sit there and I think, I don't have any mates.
Yeah.
I don't know what am I doing.
No,
I also,
yeah, I get
I
that.
also get that when I'm in camp, like, even though we're around other people, you know that they're there.
You get overstimulated though.
I do, yeah, but like, it's not feeling lonely, but feeling alone.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? I know I'm not lonely because I've got so many people that I can talk to, but I just feel alone because there's certain things that I'm not talking about, which kind of links back into what you were saying before
Yeah,
about being
yeah.
open. And
Maybe you need a psychologist.
maybe I do.
They help.
Okay, we're going up a little bit and not as sad. Did you go to any of the post-Olympics village parties?
I didn't know.
Did you
You
go
didn't
out
party?
after?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you didn't
do you guys
party.
go after?
Not really a party person.
That's okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay. That's fine.
Sorry, rugby culture. That's fine. So being pregnant's probably perfect
That
for you
sounds
as
so
well. Then.
boring.
No, it's not
No,
boring.
it's not
It's not
boring.
boring. It's just
I do party, but I don't drink.
in
Yeah.
gymnastics. Then is it like so? When we finish competition, it's always like the last day of that competition. We've just done Six Nations, 5 weeks, however long. Then it's the last game, and then you have a big party after because it's like finally you can just
Yeah.
let your hair down. Is it the same in gymnastics?
We have a banquet, yeah.
banquet. Very posh.
What, and like get all dressed up?
Get all dressed up.
What, like Victorians? Having a banquet together.
But like
cheese and wine.
there's like, yeah, you can drink. I don't,
Mm.
but you can drink. Everyone else gets quite like, oh, crazy.
And do you
Merry.
celebrate or party or have a banquet with the other teams, or is it just you guys?
No, everyone.
Everyone, that's
That's
cool.
like the
countries.
sevens. Yeah.
It's very cool.
That's cool. Most famous person you've chatted to at an Olympic village?
I actually went to 2016 Rio to watch, and I got to go to the village. I didn't chat to them, but I saw Usain Bolt.
Cool.
Cool.
Jessica Ennis.
Really cool.
That's cool.
Andy Murray I've spoken to.
Mm.
That's really it, to be honest.
So have I. At the village.
Yeah, at the village.
What about you?
No, but did you see him before he had his haircut or after?
Yes.
After or before?
Both.
Both.
Oh, sorry,
I didn't even recognise him. Like when I first saw him, I thought, who? Like, who is that? And then I was like, oh shit, that's Andy Murray. And I thought he could have scrubbed up a little bit. And then when it was the what's it called? The opening ceremony, he came down and everyone's like, woo. And I was like, who the hell is that guy?
No, to be fair, I thought that as well, actually.
Like, Andy Murray, I was like, what? I saw him yesterday and he looked homeless. And today he looks completely different.
You're not very vigilant though either.
No.
So you would just think, oh, that's just like a random person.
Random tall guy that everyone's like,
must follow him.
Yeah. I'm taking a picture, Mum. Do you know who this guy is, please? Yeah, you go.
Before you go, Alice, I think you might have a question for us.
We're going to do this with like our guests, so people listening at home,
forward,
when we have a guest on.
Questions for Jess and Ellie.
But yeah, what's something you'd like to ask us?
Like being a female athlete, how does that help with your confidence in other parts of life?
Good question.
It's a good question because I did my dissertation in this. But for
similar actually, yeah. So did I.
Yeah. I think for me is being okay in my own skin and knowing that there's always going to be a place for me, even if I feel in certain situations that's not my place. Learning to love my body for not just what it is and what I'm, training for, but to be muscular, to be fast, to be fit. You got to put a load of work into that, and I don't think anybody actually realizes how hard it is to keep up with that. So just to try appreciate me for who I am, just both on like me as a person, but me on the outside and what I look like as well.
It's a bit similar to me right now because obviously I'm so used to being fit, strong, but my body's changing. I'm not used to it. But yeah, I just feel a bit bigger. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to show myself just because I am changing. But no, I do get where you're coming from in that.
You're growing a little baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The same thing. Like
amazing.
Our body's like this because we are training and hard. Your body's training to have a human being. So you've got to love it because like it's training for something. It's getting ready for something that's beautiful.
Yeah, I'd say mine is similar. I'm not sure if I've would say I fully understand if it has helped. I think it's really tough. I think as a rugby player, you have a certain identity, or like people think you have a certain identity. I know I'm Jess Breach on the pitch, Jess Express, as some people like to call it. And then obviously I'm Jess Breach off the pitch, but I think I'm not sure what that quite looks like yet. Like this really helps, I think, because it gives us an outlook and it gives us something else to think about and a different skill. Like now I feel I can, hopefully you think this has gone well and you've enjoyed it, but we can like speak to people and I think it's tough. Like I do find that I get some confidence from it, but I'm not sure fully yet if I'm as confident as I ever will be. But I also never feel as though I'm my age, which I think I struggle with. I'm 27, but I feel like I'm 22 or 24. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like I'm 27, and I think society and pressure on like social media, like I see other 27-year-olds doing X, doing Y, and I think, well, I haven't done that. I haven't traveled the world. I haven't, done lots of other things. I haven't had different jobs. I've not just played rugby, because obviously that's amazing and I wouldn't change that for the world. But I think the pressure that society puts on me as a normal human, I don't think I'm quite comfortable yet with. But I do think rugby does help that. But it's hard, I think. I think it's really hard.
That's why I don't like social media.
Yeah. Well, and people don't know you. If you go in down the street, if they don't know you, they don't know you. So they might judge, I don't know, that you've got really broad shoulders or that you have a black eye or whatever it is. And I think that like that's what I really struggle with, because I'm like, well, you don't know my story and you're judging me.
Yeah, I'm a bit like that, to be fair.
Yeah, it's hard. It's quite a deep one to finish on
Yeah.
again. Sorry, everyone. God, yeah, really in the fields today. Must be on my period.
I'll finish on a
Alright,
higher
go on,
note of something else as well. Is being the opportunity we've got to inspire so many people, and you don't realise how inspiring you are until you can see it and you hear it. And we're in a space that we're just loving what we do and we play rugby, but to someone else we're an idol and we've inspired them to be happy in their own skin, to pick up a rugby ball, to feel strong and feel confident, even if, like Jess is saying, sometimes you don't feel like that. We've got the opportunity as women to empower other women and children and show the world that we are a force to be reckoned with, and we can do anything that we want to do, whether that is doing gymnastics and chucking yourself around on bars and then getting up and then doing it again, having children,
and coming back.
and
I think
coming
that's the
back,
thing
like,
that's just
we
amazing.
can do whatever we want to do. And I think in the past, women have always been told that they can't do it. I think even now you're still told that you can't do it.
Yeah.
But us being sat in this room, we're showing everybody that you can do anything that you put your mind to. And I love the power that has on other people, like to show other people.
We are breaking barriers.
We're breaking barriers, and it's it's really cool to be able to do that and speak to other people like yourself who's doing that, because it inspires me. I'm not saying I'm going to have a kid and then, like, now you are saying you're having a kid, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have a kid too. But there's going to be people out there that do gymnastics and might be thinking about having a kid and wondering if they can come back, and not just everything that you've accomplished up until this point, but everything that you've got ahead of yourself.
It's exciting.
It's exciting. You're just going to have a little mascot alongside with you. And you should be proud as well, because your journey hasn't been smooth, but you're still here and you're still wanting to do it. You've still got the aspirations to go to another Olympics, and that is just so cool.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that we've met you and we've had you on the pod to share that experience as well.
Yeah. Well, leading on, we just want to say thanks for joining us today, Alice. It's been wonderful to chat, and I think we've learned lots. Hopefully you've learned something about rugby as well that maybe you can go and tell your friends. But we want to let our listeners know where they can find you on socials and follow your journey, and just see all things gymnastics. So please shout yourself out, don't be shy.
I need to remember. My Instagram is Alice Kinsella 17, and my TikTok is Alice_Kinsella.
Are you a dancer on TikTok?
No.
We're going to have to get dancing, because we do a fit check after the episode, so you're going to have to get ready.
We don't have to do that.
Yeah, you do. Just because you look rough.
Yeah, I do look rough. Yeah. You're right.
Anyway, thank you to everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed our special guest and something different for our listeners, as the women's game has come to a pause, so we have a little break, so we're introducing new people. But make sure you check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, but most importantly, make sure you're subscribing here on Spotify. But for now, yeah.
Again, it's embarrassing when someone listens to the room.
Can I just say thank you?
Yeah, of
course. You're welcome. Yeah,
Thank
sorry.
you.
Yeah, sorry. You're more than welcome.
I was meant to say it, but I just went straight to the...
No, you're welcome.
I just want to say thanks for having me.
Go again. Sorry about her.
I just want to say thank you for having me, and I've loved every single minute of it. And hopefully see you again soon.
Yeah, of course.
So,
of course, we'll get you to a game.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
For sure.
Definitely. Hopefully I'll be a wing.
Yeah,
wing. Yeah. Show Jess how to kick it.
Yeah. Bye.
Cool. Thank you.